Last year, the world watched California burn like we've never seen before.
Already destroying more than 1,000 structures, making it the most destructive fire in LA history.
So what happens when the same firefighters on that front line are understaffed by 30%? When a single fire season can devastate entire communities and cost up to $250 billion in damage? Congressman George Whitesides went into the fire zone to hear directly from those on the front lines. What they told him affects every single Californian. This is that conversation.
It's almost like a moonscape, huh?
Yeah, this whole place has been seeing tons and tons of fire for, decades now.
Yeah.
And our folks are here to help stop this, because either way, if it starts here, within less than an hour, it's going to be in homes.
Yeah.
It's going to be in homes somewhere
Yeah.
very quickly. I worked for the Forest Service for 15 years. I got into a position where I was working 1,000 hours of overtime a year, and then getting a secondary job working at a community college teaching, and then remodeling my landlord's houses.
Just to cover all your expenses.
Just to cover expenses,
That's crazy.
We realized very quickly that congressional leaders just weren't informed about what was going on, had no clue, and we needed to share our experiences, what was happening.
It's such important work, and I see how you are confronted on a day-to-day basis about all the challenges, the low pay, the challenging shifts, the lack of support for the firefighting infrastructure and the equipment. And you're like, how do we make a change? This is such a huge challenge for our district. I think we have some of the highest fire risk areas in the whole country. We've got to have effective partnership between the frontline guys and gals, who are doing the work, labor and the unions, and their representatives in Congress and the Forest Service. We have got to approach this problem together, or else we're just not going to make any progress.
100%, and it's not going to stop. There's a fire scar right there that happened, maybe a month and a half ago. You can see the black right there.
Yeah.
There's that, and then if you look here on the right, this is a burn from the route fire. This is 3 years old.
Yeah.
It's already growing back.
Yeah. That's the challenge with our area, is that even if you have a catastrophic burn, we had a little bit south of here, Hughes, and then the Hearst fire a little bit south of that. Big fires that burned a large mass. Give it a season or two, and we're going to have the same fire risk.
This area burns. It's going to burn.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop, and we have to address it, because it's not only just not people where people recreate, but all of our water source for the district come from the forest. Your watershed, hunting, fishing, everything is all controlled within the forest. It's just, people don't realize how connected this whole aspect of it is to their day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this here.
Yeah.
And compare it to that side of the hill.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point, because basically this used to look like that.
Yes.
And now it doesn't, and we're not even totally sure it will get back to some of that.
It'll probably look like this.
It'll look like that. The scope of this challenge is huge, right? And right now we don't have enough people to deal with it. We're hamstringing the people who we do have with a lot of red tape, without the resources that they need to get it done.
We need to be on the offensive and not the defensive.
Yeah. That's really well put.
It's our responsibility to manage all of this now.
Yeah.
We have to fully accept it.
Yeah.
And I think we're kind of halfway there with it, and exactly what you're saying is encapsulating.
Yeah.
Fully accepting, hey, this is our job, this is our responsibility, and it's more than just reactive when a wildfire happens. It's a full-on circle.
That's exactly right.
It's a full-on circle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, should we head back?
Yeah.
One of the bills that we're working on now is called the Fix Our Forests Act, and it's actually a bipartisan bill that aspires to make it easier for communities to deal with fuels management in their surrounding natural areas. So we've got permitting reform in there. We've got other aspects. We had folks on both sides of the aisle vote for it, And if we can get it through, which I think we will, like, it will be a measurable step forward. We have got to be doing a lot more in terms of, fuels preparation.
You live in a fire-prone area. Palisades, for example. Very big fire-prone area, even before the fire happened. And communities need to understand, we need to do some like fuels mitigation in here. And that's like a truly important aspect of this whole thing, is we have to learn to live with fire because it's going to continue to happen.
That's the crucial thing. We have to adopt a sense of resiliency with fire that's going to be happening, right? Like, it's not realistic to think that we will never have fire in Southern California. We're going to keep having fires, but we need to build more resiliency into our communities. And I think that there's a role for technology too. Technology is not a panacea, like, it's not going to solve everything, but we need to make sure that frontline firefighters and forest technicians are able to communicate with each other.
Radios.
What a concept. Right now, often they can't in the wildlands. And so there are solutions that we can provide to that. We can use, satellites and other things when we can't fly planes to get a sense of the extent of a fire, to see where that is. And we stuck in some language in the defense bill this year that uses military satellites basically to detect the boundaries of fires.
Weather reports for folks that are forecasting weather.
Yeah.
That is crucial information that we have to use.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you layer that on top of the human capital side, which is of course what you're focused on, right? Is we have to take care of the people who are doing the work.
Absolutely.
And for too long, folks in the Forest Service have not been treated fairly. Whether you're thinking about pay, or you're thinking about shifts, or you're thinking about the conditions under which they've had to work, the barracks, the buildings that they're a part of. I mean, you and I have been talking about how a lot of the buildings, a lot of the fire stations in our area don't even have a generator that they can use when the power goes out because of a public safety power shutoff. And this is the people who are supposed to be fighting the fire
and responding to it.
And instead they're having to figure out how to turn the lights on when all the power's out, which is, I think, just absolutely crazy.
This is a full-on firefighting force that's year-round, responding to things, not just wildfires, but natural disasters, hurricanes, earthquakes, anything FEMA related. These folks go and respond to that. It's just,
you're not just doing fires. You're doing all kinds of responses now.
And all risk, all hazard response. And you have these folks that aren't the National Guard, that aren't the military, that can do this on a day-to-day basis. They know how to work the incident command system. It's truly. Other countries call on us to go to them to teach them how to fight wildfires. We send folks to Australia, we send folks to Canada, Greece, everywhere, to go and teach them how to fight wildfires, because we are the best at what we do in the entire business. And they truly appreciate it. This is one right now. We're in one of the biggest fire corridors in the entire country.
So we're on Route 5 right now. In our district, just a bit north of Castaic. And we have fires all the time here.
Every day.
Every day. And a lot of them are originated by humans, who,
vehicles overheat.
Natural
things happen like that. Trucks overheat, catch fire. It's going to get exposed to this, and our folks are here to stop it. They're first on scene, and they keep a lot of these fires very small. But sometimes they go big.
The fires that we had in January were obviously catastrophic, right?
Yes.
We had the Eaton fire and the Palisades fire, who between the two of them, took thousands and thousands of homes. The cost of that is estimated at anywhere between 50 and even up to $250 billion, right? $200+ billion loss in, just a few fires. And so my sense is we need to be investing a lot more in the entire system that is around fuels management, the people doing the work, the technology, all aspects of this. We're living in kind of a new era, I think, when it comes to fire risk in the Western United States. And what I hope is that we can assemble, and this is happening, we can assemble a coalition of folks across the aisle who just see this as a major, almost existential risk to the way that their communities live. And
it's not about politics.
Yeah.
They don't care about state lines. They don't care about party lines.
Yeah.
It's about the communities that y'all
Right.
are serving. And
we have to take on the unfortunate reality that fires like Eaton Canyon can happen again. And they can happen again in Southern California.
Yes.
And the next time it might not be the Palisades, it might be Palmdale. The next time it might not be Altadena, it's going to be Lancaster. I think we're starting to make that transition, but we're not all the way there yet. Because if we were there, we would be pouring way more resources into protecting our communities. We'd be putting way more resources into the people who are doing all the work in the Forest Service and the different fire agencies. And it's something that I think we as a government haven't always done the right thing for our firefighters and our frontline technicians.
this is a entire nation issue. And supporting these folks is what's going to help us on the back end. I think of it as an investment, and I think we're very fortunate to have yourself and being supportive of us and being part of like this bigger thing of like there's this. It's not just one issue; it's a culmination of issues that are coming together.
Yeah.
So
I'm grateful for the partnership.